What?
One more time?
Why?
This is our Sunday night debriefs. Really the
What is
start
this?
of a new series called Entrepreneurs at Austin. And I know that we've been posting a lot of content out there for you guys to consume, mainly podcasts, a little photos of us networking out there, more of like bits and pieces of what our story actually is, but we've never really covered exactly what our objective and purpose of starting Entrepreneurs at Austin. So we've taken this week and nighttime to sort of brief and explicitly state our goals, kind of construe to you guys our vision, and how we're sort of implementing these things in our daily lives. And we've got the crew here. We've got a little fancy get-up back there that you guys will never see.
Hope y'all like the skyline back there, you know. We're on the rooftop of our apartment right now. Can you believe that?
Yeah, we live on 2-5.
Yo, pull up.
You know, right now we are at the apartment, but in the future it'll be a penthouse.
Yeah. We'll have a pool on the rooftop next, you know.
We'll have the infinity pool here.
Hey, you know.
Do you guys want to explain the vision that we have and sort of like how Entrepreneurs at Austin came about, where the name come from, honestly how we met?
Oh, so we're going way back.
Yeah,
Like how we
We're doing a long time.
Yeah, bro.
Entrepreneurs at Austin is really a community that we're trying to build. We're trying to build a community of doers, of people who put action to their ideas, who are not just sitting around thinking about things, but actually going out there, doing things, because that's what we believe in entrepreneurs is all about. That's our mission, and we want to show you guys that you can do it by doing whatever it is that we need to do ourselves. That's why we have all these projects that we're doing right now. There's a lot that goes into this whole process, and we're trying to document it all for you guys.
Our sort of mission right now is to inspire you guys to put action to your ideas, whether it's you becoming an entrepreneur or pursuing that extra side hustle or even developing a skill in whatever craft you want to become the best at. It's really about inspiring others to actually put action, not be afraid of failure, and to actually be doers. We don't want to just talk about entrepreneurship and being a doer. We actually want to have our words true to our actions and be doers ourselves. With these projects, we're showing that kind of in life for our careers that no one has things figured out 100%. Even those who are successful right now, they don't even have their stuff like 100% figured out. We're all sort of in the process of making it, and one of our big pillars is showing that, hey, we are on the come up. The truth is that we just finished like first year on the UT campus. We're college students. We're trying to get our brick way into what entrepreneurship is. We want to use this as sort of our prime time to document every like single step, like the struggles, the ups, the downs, and sort of everything we're doing, so that hopefully you guys could go take that and apply it to your own life. And through our experiences, maybe you guys could learn something. You know, when we worry about the results, when we look on social media and we see all these gurus out there, when we see all these people with the results, it can kind of be daunting when we look at ourselves and like, man, I don't have the Lamborghini yet.
Yeah.
I'm not flying up in the sky. None of that is here yet, but that's the fun part of it, you know? That's the fun part of entrepreneurship, is figuring stuff out for ourselves. Where I want to take this conversation is go back a little bit on our origin story, on how Entrepreneurs at Austin started. So date-wise, it was maybe the snowstorm of like spring break 2021. You know, so watch this video then. But I remember I was sitting eating dinner with Andrew and some buddies, and he was like, yo, how cool would it be when school shut down right now, it's snowing, there's ice everywhere, you know, what if we sell some hot chocolate to the students around us, right? And you know, me being some spontaneous nut, I'm like, you know what, let's actually do it. Let's actually do it. This is like at 11 p.m. and I'm like, you know, let's do it. I'm getting hyped about it. Like literally the next day we sought out and just started building on it, just contacting our buddies. I think, what did you do? You like contact like your friends for tables or something?
Yeah, so we came up with the idea at 11 p.m. one night, and we're like, we're gonna do this next. And we had no plan at all, like literally no plan. We were just like, we want to get hot chocolate stand. We don't know how we're gonna do it, but it's gonna happen tomorrow. So the next day we wake up, we're like, okay, this is what we need. We need tables, we need supplies, we need the mix, we need a sign, right? And I started hitting people up, yo, you have a table. And lo and behold, one of my friends who lives in a dorm has a giant folding table just in his dorm. I don't know why, but thank you, Alex, for having that table. Basically got our materials, went to Target, bought the mixtape. This dude was like trying to make the perfect formula for how it tasted. Posted on social media, hey, we're setting up hot chocolate tonight, 6 p.m. outside district. Come through if you want a cup of warm hot chocolate on this cold, stormy night. And guess what? People showed up.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah, they showed up.
So many people showed up. It was like the jankiest thing ever. We had this table out. We were right next to an outlet. We literally like borrowed those Keurig heaters, and we like took a bunch of water bottles from our dorm. And it was
water bottle.
It was the most ratchet stuff ever. But we were just out there having fun, putting action to the idea. Yeah. And then the name Entrepreneurs at Austin actually came when people were asking us like, oh, what's this for? Like, this has to be for something org, right? Not just some buddies messing around. And while we were at the table, I was like, you know what? Yeah, this is for Entrepreneurs at Austin, right? And I was like, yeah, it's for Entrepreneurs at Austin. I just came up with it right on the spot. And people were like buying it. It wasn't like a scammy thing. It was just a name that we sort of called ourselves, and like after, we're entrepreneurs at Austin, you know. And you know, after a couple of nights of selling, and we counted our profits and just enjoyed the process of just talking to people, sort of getting a bunch of no's and also a lot of yeses and meeting new people. I think we all collectively thought that this could be something more than just like selling hot chocolate. Like us four fellows that we're here, kind of spirited and figuring out how to make money, and like sort of the idea there was taking the initial money we made from the hot chocolate and sort of scaling it up to the next bigger hustle, and eventually build our money up to owning some sort of like real estate piece. And like right in the beginning, it was early in the works where we didn't have like a vision of what Entrepreneurs at Austin was. We didn't know where the brand wanted to go. We didn't even know that it would sort of go into a brand. We didn't have podcasts, not even a mission statement. It was really super up in the air.
Yeah.
But after I think a bunch of conversations, like numerous like meetings, us wasting our time to be.
You have to be honest. Yeah.
We would just sit in there, like sit at a time. We eventually came to a bit of an understanding of what we wanted Entrepreneurs at Austin to be. We got our podcast. We started reaching out to business owners and org officers, and legit, it was still like the most bougie thing ever because we were bringing these like guests, right? These guests were supposed to have a super professional setting, and we brought them into my dorm room actually, where we took apart the bed, had like a mattress underneath. It was like, it's still the most ratchet stuff ever, but we just wanted to get it out there. Like,
check out episodes 1 and 3 of Longhorn Origins, back when it was still Longhorn Origins.
Yeah.
You'll see it's ratchet ass.
So bad, dude. Stay consistent, and eventually, after we started doing the podcast more and kind of fitting into more if we wanted Entrepreneurs at Austin to be. Eventually, after talking to enough people and getting a few podcast episode shootings there and a lot of conversations with these guys, like, man, what the heck, you're wasting my time, like, I don't understand your vision, like, I don't understand what's going on, you just bossing me around. After a lot of conversations and words, like, okay, getting an understanding of the people I was working with and like talking to them more, growing more comfortable with them.
And we all wanted to do something together related to entrepreneurship after the whole hot chocolate step. We didn't know what we wanted to do, we didn't know how we wanted to do things. All we knew was we're gonna learn how to be entrepreneurs. We're gonna do something to accomplish that, and we're gonna do it together. And it took a long time to figure out what we wanted to do. We had a lot of different ideas that we bounced off each other, that sometimes we weren't super clear on, that weren't communicated super clearly, so we had to figure that out. But we did eventually. Once we figured that out, and we were like, okay, you need to build your network, being able to interact with the people around you and build meaningful relationships so that you can tap into those resources when you need them. It's super important regardless of what you're doing. So what better way to do that than to start a podcast where we can tell people, hey, we'd like to feature you on our podcast, right? And that's a perfect gateway to not only start a conversation with someone, but also, build a lasting relationship with them. The original idea for the podcast was, at first we were really focused on like, oh, we want to make money, right? Because we made money from selling hot chocolate. We were like, oh, let's do something at the next level where we can make even more money, right? And so our idea was to help orgs with their quote unquote branding and help orgs get more exposure among students, among the UT community. So we wanted to say, hey, come on our podcast, tell us what your org is about, and you know, people at UT, people who follow us, will watch our podcast and learn more about your org. But that's the original idea. But then it kind of branched out into like, were you trying to use this to build relationships? It's not to be just org people, it could be anyone. What's your take, mister? What's your side of the story? What were you thinking after hot chocolate? What did you think we could accomplish? And what did you want to accomplish with us?
Low-key, after hot chocolate stand, I envisioned us pretty much becoming like an incubator eventually. That's the way I see it. Like, we grow our own projects, and like eventually people will see us enough and love us enough that they would like come to us with their ideas, and like we would like just all build together. I just see it as like just one big creation machine, pretty much. Like just, oh, I have this cool idea. All right, does everybody like this? Like, yeah, we like this. All right, I'm gonna work on it.
So when you say incubator, you want EAA to be a tool for people who have ideas.
Yeah, not necessarily a tool, but like an ecosystem. Like if you're a bear, you're gonna survive in the environment that like a bear survives in. You're not gonna survive in like the desert, right? You're gonna like survive in like the forest or whatever like bears survive, right? So it's like all the up and coming entrepreneurs, like they can survive under like the Entrepreneurs at Austin ecosystem. Like it's a place where they can like grow and thrive, and like really it's like this just one huge feedback loop, like for literally everyone. That's the way I see it. Just this huge community, everyone coming together, just coming up with ideas, launching them. That's the way I see it.
You still see it as that?
Yeah, I still see it that way, really. Yeah.
So you had a vision for EAA since the start, right?
Yeah.
How has the vision changed?
It's definitely changed more on the content creation side. I was focused like majority on like just straight, heads down, business, right? Not necessarily like paying attention to like the content side of things, but I've grown to like see the importance of that, because you have to have something to show people, right? They have to be able to follow the journey, in order for it to like truly thrive. So sort of this summer, building out more of that, especially with like the Doers cast. I mean, going out there and doing the outreach, making those connections. That's changed things. So yeah.
What have you learned, Rodney, about using content creation to brand?
Let's say that with this content creation, I think it's been reiterating the importance of consistency and being in front of people all the time, because through trying to build out this brand, I don't think we've sort of accomplished like the huge overarching brand that I have the goals of yet, and is still in the works. But by recording every day, by pushing ourselves and trying to stick to deadlines of having a weekly podcast out, and then soon to be 2 podcast episodes, it sort of showed me more of the facets of networking, because for this podcast and content creation, we needed to be out there in front of people. I started going to networking events again, started searching around the internet to find other small business owners, and I started talking and introducing myself to way more people than before. And it sort of helped me get out of my comfort zone. Through building this brand, it taught me to really write out my goals and build consistency, build out my habits, and honestly work on myself as a person. We're all in this together, and that we got to keep putting action to it every single day. And, maybe we'll look back in a year or so and say, look how far we have come,
Yeah.
Okay, so now we've told you guys basically what Entrepreneurs at Austin is about and why we started it and where we want to go with it. Now we're going to talk about something that we haven't talked about at all actually on our social media yet, so you guys don't know anything about this. We have another project that we're working on that we're really excited about, that will hopefully allow us to make some money and learn a lot about some really important things along the way. So, mister, what is this project?
So to sort of further contextualize that, we're gonna launch a project, because we need to bring in cash flow, obviously. Like we wanna do our podcast, but like we have to make money too, right? Entrepreneurship, right? So my thought process was, all right, we need something where we can develop like the fundamental skills needed in entrepreneurship for pretty much every business, which is marketing, sales, customer service, like all of those like really, really essential things, communication, like all the things like necessary. Sort of with the ideation behind it, we started this thing called Fuse Management, which is a short-term rental property management company. I think it's like in mid-June, right? We all sort of got together and we carved out the idea, and this is very good for us because we're able to sort of develop our skills in marketing, cold calling, setting up pay-per-click campaigns, all the sorts of things you need to do to get your business out there in front of your customers. Now fast forward, we put out a roadmap, like a 30-day roadmap. We completed the first week, which is primarily just branding, just branding everything. Within the second week, we hit like sort of a bump in the road, which was Austin has really, really strict short-term rental regulations. They don't like short-term rentals, specifically with like residential houses with like absentee owners, which that was like our target, customer. Like that was like our ideal customer. That was our avatar, right? So we had to sort of like restructure it. So we re-envisioned it to where we're offering like short-term rental property management, but it's primarily to like multi-family and condo owners and things of that sort. And we also expanded it to where we're doing other real estate investment strategies like wholesaling, like creative financing methods, like seller financing, all types of things, right? We also have like another part of it where we started this cleaning service, which we've now named it Cleaners at Austin, entrepreneurs at Austin, cleaners at Austin, right? So we're sort of like, we're getting this thing going. We'll be like hitting the phones, cold calling, launching like pay-per-click campaigns, like all the things, like the really like the nitty-gritty, as people say, like getting our hands dirty, and really getting in and trying to generate leads, generate sales. So it's a really, really exciting time here at Entrepreneurs at Austin. And it's also, this is where we're gonna start seeing the results, and you guys are gonna start seeing more of the business side, on our Instagram and things of that sort, on YouTube. So yeah.
With this Cleaners at Austin thing, during the week, we're doing the prep work, right? I know Mr. is like, yeah, it's a Saturday night. I should be working right now on the Cleaners at Austin thing.
Yeah, we'll release a video because we really, really want you guys to see this is how they're actually doing it. Guys, they'll talk about, we did this, we did that, right? But they're not like actually showing it. Like we want to show you guys, like we thought of this, we put it down on paper. This is how we executed. Like this is what happened. This was the outcome. So that's what we want you guys to see.
Yeah, y'all are gonna see like the video. Oh my God, it turned off again. What the f? You're gonna see us put in the work in through this video editing. Shout out to Andrew for editing it all.
Yeah, thanks Andrew.
He's a trooper.
This is what EAA is essentially right now, right? So we have, this is EAA, this is us. Okay, and then these are all our projects, so eventually we'll have more. But right now we have Fuse and podcast. And the podcast accomplishes building networks and featuring people and learning from people that we meet.
Yeah.
And Fuse accomplishes making money, hopefully, and learning about real estate. Yeah, I really want to have some other projects in the future and to like diversify.
Yeah, and more is coming.
But yeah,
more is
this is what we got so far. Hope y'all enjoy the video, and we'll catch y'all on the next one.
EAA.
Of our podcast and the editing, and our light went out again because they don't like when we're talking about money. They're trying to rain on our parade, but it's okay. We persevered through it. I'm improving the speech, and bam, just like that.
All right, we're back.
On. The grind's back on.
Wait, what is this?
Yeah. Yeah.